Top of the game. Salute, salute. What's good with y'all out there, man? I know I'm looking crazy. I've been up all night, man. So bear with me. I decided to do a little short live. I'm in Alabama. As you can see behind me, you see the China, all that at my sister's house. You know, I was out outside all night or whatever, and vibing with a bunch of dudes out here in the hood or whatever, and just hearing concerns and little minor complaints and stuff like that. And once I got inside, I decided to go live about it. And I heard it on the radio down here. Like a lot of times people can't really afford Christmas or Thanksgiving, the holidays, man. Of course, this is the reason why we give back. Like a lot of time. Blue Dollars Network was good. Salute. This is why we give back a lot of times and have toy drives and clothes drives, stuff like that. With being down there. And plus, I got a lot of phone calls, the same people every year. Yeah, Bama, homie, we down bottom. But the same people every year press me like, I guess they forget they don't pay back. You know what I mean? And bro, I need to get something for my son or my daughter, or, for my kids or whatever case may be. And most people fall under pressure because of the holidays, man. A lot of people go in debt and go into a hole trying to keep up with the holidays. So I just wanted to vibe with that, man. I'm outside, man. Like I say, I got a lot of family down here, cousins and stuff like that or whatever. And they not the richest people. So when they talk to me, I'm listening. And then it's crazy, after I talk to them, I'm driving the car and I hear the same conversation on the radio about, about not pressing yourself about the holidays. One, from my personal experience, a lot of time my aunts, the elders, they got a lot of stuff. So you don't want to buy them toasters and stuff like that or whatever. I think it'll end up in the closet. You know what I mean? Some people, you buy them gifts, you go hard to buy expensive gifts and stuff like that or whatever. A lot of times we do it out of our heart, but sometimes people buy expensive gifts to impress people. Yeah, you already know, Mo. Salute, top of the game. Top of the game to everybody. When people just buy expensive gifts trying to impress people, but, being 100 with it, a lot of times people take them gifts, especially the receipt, they take the gift back and get the money for it. You know what I mean? So, no doubt, Mo, appreciate it. So I wanted to vibe with y'all about that this morning, man. Like, you shouldn't have to really go that hard for gifts and stuff like that. Like I said in the heading, hashtag your presence, not presence. You know what I mean? A lot of time, people forget the principle of, it doesn't matter, you talking about Kwanzaa, you talking about Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter. It's really about bringing family together and solidarity. You know what I mean? And I think people lose sight with that. And see, I just got right to it, right? Because I'm tired, been up all night. But and sometimes, you gotta give your ear, to your environment, to your community. It don't make sense. Exactly, DBN, keeping up with the Joneses. You know what I mean? It don't make sense for a person, to go super hard for things that you can't afford, man. And then stop trying to buy everybody 5 or 6 gifts. Like, a lot of times you will notice that you buy a bunch of gifts for people and they don't even use them. You know what I mean? What? The nigga said, Pink Sugar getting a bag of coal for Christmas. But you understand what I'm saying? Hey, China salute. You already know what it is. But like a lot of times people go hard for the holidays, and you know, you don't gotta do that, man. You know, now, I'm not saying don't get gifts if you can afford it by all means, but do it wisely, man. Stop running through bread for sensitive stuff, man. You know what I mean? It's pointless. If all you grown dudes out there, stop hitting, you know, stop hitting my line, bro, about yo, son, I gotta get my daughter. Yo, what about my kids? I've done that for people since I've been home. And it's the same thing over and over again. Yo, big bro, and some of your dudes got good jobs, construction jobs and all that. When y'all gonna pay that back? I've been hitting y'all forever, and the first thing you don't do is you don't borrow. If you need it, then yo, bro, could you spare? When you say could you spare, that tells the person that it's a strong possibility that he's not gonna get that back. You know what I'm saying? Facts, J money bags. They need to go to work. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Don't call my phone this year. I'm done. This year, next year, and the year after that. Get up off your ass, man, and get your job. That's that. That's why this Thanksgiving I didn't go crazy for nobody. I came down here and I celebrated Thanksgiving with my sister, and I'm still with my sister. You know what I mean? My sister's 65 years old. She deserved that love and for me to shower her. You know what I mean? Before all you clowns out there. Think about how many times you call people just to check on them and make sure they're all right. Stop calling them and see if they call you. I'm just giving you a game right now, man. You know what I mean? See, I'm getting back to that raw shit and the facts. You know what I mean? About you dudes that have all the opinions, make all the accusations, but y'all don't give nobody nothing. You're selfish, inconsiderate, and really don't care about nobody. You know? DBN said, my people want to get me a gift, pay one of my bills. That's a fact. You know what I mean? Lend a hand. Stop always thinking that, and I'm going to speak for most of the dudes in here that I know personally, J money bags. Stop thinking that we always got it. Just one time, assume that we don't have it. Do that. And extend your hand. You know what I'm saying? Stop always expecting me, J money bags, China, certain people to extend. I'm going to show you a good example with China. He may hit me, yo, bro, send me blah, 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 blah. I send it to him. Not even 48 hours. The longest I ever seen it is 72 hours, and babe, bro, send that back. If I need send you China, you send me, he sent it. And then we don't got the money. Sometimes your money be tied up in other investments and stuff like that. They call me, yo, big bro, I invested, blah, 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 blah. I ain't seen no return yet. Shoot me a couple hundred. I shoot it back to him. I shoot it to him. He sent it right back. Sometimes he just be playing with me and see if I'm going to send it to him. You know what I mean? But we got to start wising it up. I'm going to talk to us as a people. I don't care if you Cuban, Venezuelan, Puerto Rican, African, Nigerian. You can just name whatever you want. At the end of the day, we all are minority people, man. And we need to start doing, the same as, the people that's on that other level. And start, this is the reason why they're rich. They consider the wealthy. Because they sit down and they strategize their spending, man. The same way they strategize through life. If a dude decide he want to run for office, what do he do? He get around his colleagues, his constituents, as they call it, and they sit around, they strategize, they budget. Key word here is budget. They funds and their resources. You know what I mean? Why am I saying an extra light? Right? They funds and their resources. I'm seeing a light from somewhere. Oh, the mirror. That's the mirror. Yeah, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, we got to start being more in tune. So my kids, if you're watching, I ain't giving you shit this year. What? They eat shit? Nah, I'm fucking with y'all. You know what I mean? But look at oh, since he came from his kids this morning. Nah, you know what I mean? I'm just joking, man. But you gotta start getting more serious, more in tune, man. You know, once you hear people, I'm amongst people. I'm not in Alabama, so all my family and my cousins that haven't seen me in a long time. So yeah, they're happy. You know, so you see, I'm in here a whole nother week just chilling, but really more in tune with my sister, because we forget that the older ones came before us and they made the sacrifices. That was the one when you were small. The parents told, "Hey, run and get up there and make sure Corey and them is dressed and stand ready for school." And you understand what I'm saying? And we forget about the older ones, man. And I feel if you're going to put something into somebody, put your time, your presence, man. I leave here since I've been here and go up the hill to my agent uncle. You know, he was the G back in the day, but he worked in Kennedy Airport, buffing floors and stuff like that. You know what I mean? For years till he retired and took care of his kids. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was a couple that came, so on and so forth. But I felt like all of them should have came, the grandkids and everybody, because the man is aging. You know what I mean? Straight up. So at the end of the day or whatever, man, if you're gonna give back, man, give back in time, man. Give back your presence. You know what I mean? Not presence. Make your presence felt. More so than just giving a bunch of gifts. When you give a bunch of gifts, it's still empty. And like I said, a lot of times people be hurting to the point where you'll give them a gift and they'll take it back to the store and sell it and put gas in their car. But maybe a restart, especially for those people, you start budgeting your money out. Stop all the extra curriculum spending. And as the homie said earlier in the chat, who said that keeping up with the Joneses. Yeah, I went to college, so I give credit to the author. When people say certain things, I make it known who say what. You know what I'm saying? But stop trying to keep up with the Joneses, man. Keep up with yourself. Keep up with your bills. Keep up with your responsibilities. Don't keep up with me. You know what I mean? Because I'm not trying to keep up with y'all. Because I ain't trying to be broke. I'm not trying to go broke. I share though. Yeah, I know I share. And the person that deal with me can tell you that, when you need something, CK don't reach out. Like right now, it's an off season right now for most contractors. Because you already know when it's cold, it's not a lot of work. But when it warm back up, I'm trying to go grind with my man J.E. Money bags. You know what I mean? And get some of that contractor money, man. But for the time being, I'm going to grind like I've been grinding. I grind it out, So I'm about to go grab me a route with Amazon, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know how I do. I'm a hustle king, man. I'm worse than a Jamaican. I can have something happen here, something happen here. And I get a time slot that open up, I replace it with another hustle. So that I'm not worrying about being put outdoors or, not being to pay taxes on land and stuff like that. You got to start maneuvering and using good sense over ignorance. We all had a good little laugh, 10 toes pulled up on Maine the Milkman from behind the bar, this and that. But after all that, because that's rhetoric. So after all that, nonsense and rhetoric, people getting online, not really knowing people and doing certain stuff, you still have to come back to your reality outside of YouTube, and that's living. You know what I'm saying? You see how I took conversation from last night, people standing around, smoking, drinking, and I'm hearing, man, this Christmas right here gonna be hard, bro. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Damn, big homie put me on to some game, man. And I'm like, no. And I was talking to Pink. She like, yo, you know what? I ain't buying no more adults gifts and stuff like that or whatever because they really don't appreciate it. It's just a day. Yeah, DBN said keeping up with the Joneses. I see it right here, trying to keep up with the Joneses. I mean, so this conversation is coming around 360. You know, everybody have the same conversation because y'all do know. I said it in all my videos. We're in a recession, coupled by inflation. Pay attention. You know what I mean? The reason why we're in a recession is because they're taking all our resources. Even, the pantries that give out food to people all around New York City and North Carolina, Virginia, these pantries are now being occupied by the government to give to the Ukrainians that came over here. Now, you got the Israelis that's going to what they're going to do over there, and the Palestinians and all that, and the ones that's escaping from over there from all the gunfight and the bombing, they coming over here. And guess what happened now? Now, all that quote unquote, we joke about it, yeah, they giving a free cheese line, but they giving that free cheese, that powdered milk, canned milk, canned veggies, they giving all that to them now, bro. There's no more resources for us over here, especially African Americans. This is why I think this. So Jared was good. This is the reason why it's hard right now. We all feel it. I don't care if a nigga sell weed, coke, Fetty, all that. Niggas are still feeling it. You know why? Ain't no money for no customers out there. You know what I mean? Ain't no money for customers out there. My man, Thompson said vote Trump. I kind of agree with him on that. At least when Trump was in office, he opened certain doors to shoot resources in our direction. Biden came in and went straight politics. No, we're not giving out stimulus money. No, we're not doing this. No, we're not doing that. I'm going to do this, but we're not supporting that. And everything he didn't want to do, didn't support, has something that directly affect us, including food stamps and stuff like that, for the people who's on public assistance. It's crazy. Now I see why you didn't have Puffy and all the other dudes doing what they did with Obama and everybody else. They did with President Clinton. Because nobody respected that man politics. But us as a people, all we heard was get Trump out of office. Oh, Donald Trump is this and Donald Trump is that. But nobody considered the fact that Trump followed in the footsteps of the Obama administration. He made sure there was some type of stimulus money for us and all the rest of that. Think about it. The only political move that Obama really made was fighting terrorism and helping the car industry. Everything else he did for us, free education, free medical. And when he went out, Donald Trump won. We were saying Hillary Clinton, we don't know what she may have or may not have done. She said she's going to do certain things, but even in her campaign, she never spoke on the Black agenda. When I say Black, I mean everybody. Hispanics, if you want to call them that, Latin, Latinos, but say they never spoke on that agenda. You know why? I don't think that was part of her fight. As to Biden. Now, outside of Trump, I probably think Bernie Sanders would have been a better candidate because Bernie was talking about serving our community. He said he married to a Black woman, ain't he? You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, whatever, Bernie might have been a better a better candidate. We went for Joe Biden because he was the vice president. You know what I mean? So, don't kill yourself this holiday, any other holiday, man, when it comes to gifts, man. Give what you can. I don't care if it's a can of tuna fish, man. It's something more than what we're receiving. And that we have to, what are you saying? Oh, goddamn Sam, I'm here, PPA. So, y'all gotta maneuver or whatever. I guess PPA. Who are you, PPA? But at the end of the day or whatever, I couldn't sit on that. That shit was racking my brain, and I realized every year the same 10 or 15 people hit my phone, asked me to help them with their kids. I asked them the same question. Yo, bro, I just seen you smoking blunts in the corner, and I just see you in the club. And after hours of that, yeah, I went out with the homies. Nah, bro, you drinking alcohol. Tell the homies instead of buying you them little bottles or whatever that they sell for $25, $30, and the afties, to get that for your kids. Every time you go to after hours, get there and get $5 or $10 for them dudes. But then your party goes and you can afford the party. I mean, yeah, Corey loved him, but we're not dealing with that right now. But yeah, he got touched up north. We ain't dealing with that right now. We're dealing with real things right now. Because you gonna mess around, be one of the people talking about, yo, what I'm gonna do, I can only get a certain amount of gifts. I can't get everybody. Yes, you could. Get everybody one gift, bro. You know what I mean? And get them power car salute and get them one gift. You ain't gotta get all get them a cheap gift. You don't gotta give them nothing crazy. All you're gonna do, the kids gonna play with it till they break it or even get bored with it. You know how many over the course of years, I got little nieces, I still have a young daughter. I mean, that's not quite a teenager yet. That I bought them houses, the Barbie play houses, and the Barbie food truck and ice cream truck, all that stuff. And they play with it for a little while. When you come in, you see it somewhere in their room in a corner somewhere over there. Never to touch the floor again. You know how that go. Nigga said just check an IP address. That's all you good. I ain't worried about you checking my IP address. You don't want to check my IP address. This is the wrong one to check, y'all. And that go out to street dudes and law enforcement. I am not playing. But at the end of the day or whatever, dudes got to get it together, man. Like, stop hurting ourselves out here, man. It's a bad time. Y'all know I handle paper. I play around paper. I gamble the snap. I don't know what you call it, man. I don't front when it comes to being real. I feel the recession. I feel inflation. You know what I mean? It's the L Game's finest. One time was good. You know what I mean? But why we in the recession, John Pete, outside of inflation? I'm listening because I never said why we in the recession. I just said we in the recession coupled with inflation. Let me hear why we not in there. But yeah, man, there's certain things that's taking place. They got us focused overseas on what's going on overseas. I mean, but The real war is over here, man. They plan to find that war with his name now. I mean, yeah, I feel you. I feel you, Big Dice. You know, y'all don't get it. We have more holidays now than we have school periods. Every other week is a holiday. You know, they even, we scream on Wednesday, yo, happy hump day and all that. That's about to be a holiday. You know what I'm saying? You don't find a way, you know what I mean, the bigger holiday out the middle of the week. Queen Shell said, CK, what's your advice to women who tag along everything that men do? Honestly, a woman shouldn't tag along in everything they man do. If it's coming to, in terms of business. Now, if they just hanging, moving around, that's something different. But a woman shouldn't be in every aspect of a man's business. Any female around me, I tell them all the time, yo, find something to do. You don't need to be in everything I got going on. You know what I mean? So, that's the answer to that. Let me see, really in the field. Some CK, your vibe seems super low today. Nah, I'm tired. I've been up all night. So when I get off of this joint, cuckoo, I'm gonna throw the shoot the cuckoo clock. Whoop. You know what I mean? I'm going to bed after this. Look, that when you first walk in the door, snack, that was the turkey and cheese on some 12 grain bread and all that. You know? Now, that's a fact. Out of here completely. You blocked now, Huck, and eat a dick on your way out. But at the end of the day or whatever, people got to understand, right, that in today's time, nothing is put together or designed for us. You know what I mean? Everything is put together according to their particular scheme. That scheme doesn't include us, bro. If that's the case, we would have got restitution years ago. Years ago we would have got restitution. So this year, be more conscious on how y'all spend, man. Yeah, I'm back where I was at. These nonsense, corny dudes, right? Be more conscious of how y'all spend. If you don't have to, buy a $500 gift, don't. The only thing that should be spent and that dollar amount is if you're gonna get your kid a PS5 or an Xbox, the 1 terabyte joint, then by all means, because that's something that your kid gonna play. Buying a remote control car. How long do you really see a kid playing with a remote control car? Think about it. They play with it for a little while, and after that car go right back where everything else go in a toy box. 300. Salute, homie. So just be more in tune and a little bit more, money savvy, so to speak. Spend your money the right way, doing the right things. Because I ain't gonna lie, we coming to a point, bro, where they really trying to wipe out the dollar. If you do that, how you gonna live if you living on the streets? If you make your ends off the street, how you gonna do that? Because you get a certain point on Cash App, they cut it off. You can't even receive certain money. So that means they've successfully controlled how we live. Now it ain't like before when you say, all right, well, boom, you dice, what you got? You got 15 in your staff. I got this snap, boom. Yeah, let's put it together and open up a meat market or open up a laundromat. You can't make that bread. You know why? Everything is going to be going right through them. This is why they got the Cash App put in place. This is why Russian women had the rush card and all the rest of that stuff. Because people understand and understood back then that eventually it's going to come down to the wonderful world of plastic. They just ain't got it tweaked out right. They tweak it right now, trying to put it together. You know what I mean? They're trying to tweak it out and put it together. And as soon as they do, all that extra bread coming back is over with. Facts. J Money Bow about to get to that. And tell dudes all that extra bread you got laying around, you know, from you doing your little Amazon routes and stuff like that, you're getting tips from, you know, moving furniture, moving the storage. Take all that, man. It costs about $1,800 per brick of gold. It went down to maybe about $1,600 now, right? And I've been on that wave. You got to take your gold, get your safe, get yourself, your safe nailed down to the floor, because you got family members who don't really care about what you got going on, and will steal your shit if you ain't got it set down. My cousin got mad gold blocks in his closet. Yeah, his man, we should go get that. He just thinking about the come up. He thinking about putting a chain on the neck or getting a nice whip, and they'll wash you up. You know what I mean? So be wise about it and buy them gold bars. You can go right to the gold and diamond district. If you go over the Brooklyn Bridge, soon you get down there, it's a gold and diamond exchange, big spot, sit on the corner, and the all old Chinese spots up the block, all still gold blocks, still 10 karat gold blocks, 14 karat gold blocks, and they sell the pure ones, 24K. Get the 24K blocks. Those are the blocks. You know what I mean? Yeah, Sunset 1 ounce bar. Right? Those are the blocks that you see on the money market. You know what I mean? When it comes to gold and precious metals, 10 karat joints, because of the carat, the value of it goes down. 14, okay. Always get the 24 karat or even the 18. They have 18 karat gold blocks too. Get those, man. Trust me. Instead of buying the rollie or whatever, think about how much we pay for rollies. You can take that money you pay for the rollie and get you about 20 blocks. Think about it. And that block is worth more than that Rolex. But the Rolex costs 10 times more. Because you know what they do, right? You bring anything anywhere, they're going to say what you want to get paid for, your gold or your diamonds. But when they sell you the watch or the chain, they don't separate the gold from the diamond. They either selling you that watch whole or you don't get the watch. You say, yo, I'm on a hard time, I want to sell his watch. And the first thing the jeweler going to tell you the pawn shop dude going to say, hey, what you working with? A word? Okay, well, what we looking at, the diamonds or the gold? And you will say, damn, CK told me that's it. I'm telling you, they have their gimmicks, man. They sell you an 18 karat gold watch, the ice the bezel out, and the dude pay you for the 18 karat gold rollie, the present as we call it, and not your diamonds. Front Street with Liberty said, went around collecting gold scraps from pawn shops, then have it melted down. Yeah, it's cheaper, yeah, no doubt. Fact, J Money Bag, he said, when you sell jewelry back, they give you scrap prices. They don't pay for diamonds. You got to go back to where you brought it. That's a fact. So now a person coming up that stole a watch, You're not getting much for that, buddy, not unless you have a jeweler that rock with you and know the value of the watch and say, all right, you know what? This watch, normally we sell it for 40. Hey, I'll give you 20. I'll give you 15. But you're not getting nowhere near the 40, though. You know what I mean? So even that's a dying, a dying trend. You know? I know people, man, that took over $107 worth of jewelry and only got like 30 grand for it. You know what I mean? 2 big chains and a watch. You know? A classic, the $80,000 rollies. Took that shit, nigga gave him 20 for the rollie, and then 15,000 for 2 chains. You know? And they got him banned from TV because he did it to a loved one. You know what I'm saying? Griminess, man. When you ice out a rollie, you actually depreciating the value unless rollers do it themselves. Now that's a fact. That's a fact. Why do you think the AP watch became the more superior watch? Because AP do it they sell. You got some dudes that are bust on the AP, but when you get a AP made from Audemars themselves, that watch hold it down. And you're right, bro. So you remember my gold pretty with the white face? That's why I always kept it plain Jane. Because when you keep it plain Jane, it holds its value. Once you bust it down, you just killed the beautiful watch. It's over with. Yeah, J. Moneybag said, got to keep in mind, a diamond is just a rock that's polished. And these days, they got lab diamonds. So you don't know if you're getting lab diamonds in some of this jewelry or if you're getting real diamond. Facts, none of their attributes, they ain't worth nothing. A lot of that stuff ain't worth nothing. That's why for a long time when I had my chain, I had it all gold because I already knew what it was. You know, but me and, pride, yeah, CK got to go check it. He can't afford diamonds. My dumb ass went and put diamonds around the piece and all that sitting around the clip that hold it on the chain. I said, left it how it was. Worth more. And my shit heavy, so it's really worth more. But with the diamonds, what you want? Money for your diamonds or the gold? You know what I mean? Even though I'm not selling my shit, I'm going to hand it down to little CK in a quick minute because I'm about done with the jewelry anyway, man. Shit starting to hurt. J Money back. Your chain will be hurting your neck sometime. Sometimes that shit give me headaches from me having 3 or 4 chains on the shit. My nigga said, shout out to Desmond from Jackie Robinson. Yeah, shout out to that man. He did 27 years. That's a long time, bro. You know? Desmond, welcome home, homie. Facts. Facts. Now, my man, he fell on hard times. He did the smartest shit. Because you know how it is now in the attributes, we all have relationships over 30 years with like Yuri and Mike the Jeweler, all of them. Because we was kids and we were snatching diamonds in Midtown and all that. He took it to Yuri and Yuri pulled all the diamonds out. So homie went home with a bag of diamonds. And the next day he took it to the diamond district and got money for the diamonds. And then he turned around and went around the corner to dudes who buy gold, and they bought his chain and all that and his piece, without the diamonds. So all they're gonna do And the pieces that's put together like that, take it and call their cousin, hey Samuel, I just got an iced out piece with a scorpion on it. Send your guy to pick it up. He sent it to Samuel. Samuel put it in the window for the same price you originally paid for it. After they just gave you $10,000 for a $30,000 set. Put it in there, and the dude comes to you. I'll give you $25 for it right now. Get that money back. He sent him his 10 stacks plus the interest for letting him move it. And boom, sometimes he'll just get $5,000, $6,000 for selling it for him. And the rest of that bread go to the family member. Because all these other people that come over here, they get the first loans and grants to take over here in the new land. Because that's what this is. This right here, they call it the boiling pot, but it's also a country of fair trade. Meaning if you have something to offer, more so than the natives, they'll give you startup money. That's why you see so many Arab and bodega stores all around that's not Latino or black owned. A lot of them are Asian now. Asian, you see a lot of Greek shops, bakeries, stuff like that. The government gave them that bread, man. We go and we got to fill out an application, stand in line, only to get turned around because your ID have an A and you just put your first and last name. So you got to go do that all over again. So now your process starts all over. Then they want to know what you have in your bank account, what your credit score look like. They come over here with no credit at all and get exactly what they need. And these are the same people we're buying jewelry from to this day. And then when we get broke, we sell our jewelry to right back to these people. They came over here with nothing, but probably a half worn out pair of socks and a t-shirt. But their cousin put enough money together amongst their family and sent for them, and then took them to the courthouse and to get what they need to get, vendor's license on and so forth. And then once they get all their credentials right, they walk them right up in there and get them a loan. With a government sealed letter saying that it's not just a loan, they've successfully turned that loan into a grant, meaning they don't even got to pay the money back. And that's it. Once they get established, then they turn around and they just got to pay for a visa. That's it. Just that simple. But us, we pay them by going to their prison systems to get Christmas gifts for our kids and our moms and everybody, and for ourselves. Everybody want to get fly on Easter, right? You know what I mean? That's how we grew up. So they make money off us, do that. Now, let's get down to the taxes we pay. You know what I mean? The taxes is an interest-free loan that we give to the government. They take money off our checks. But let them give us something. Let us finance something. That's being financed, whether it be a car, a house, a boat, is being financed with interest. But when the government tax our checks, they tax wages, they give it back to us at the end of the year, but it's interest-free. It has no interest on it. So you're getting exactly what you put in back. You ain't getting another dime. Meanwhile, they take all our money, throw it in the money market, endorse our money, our checks, they endorse it, invest it, and reinvest it all year long in the for sure account, whether it be Fidelity overseas, any different money accounts and CDs. At the end of the year, they just turn around and press send. You know why? Because the dollar bill is only a promissory note. So are we thinking, yeah, Got that income tax, boy. I'm about to get me that whip. They just gave you 6,500 in promissory notes. But when that digital thing come out, you get the check. They took 278 off your check. You should have got 1,700, but you got 14 and some change. You know what I'm saying? That's how it worked, man. You know? So yeah, it's a loan from us to the government when they tax us. But it's an interest-free loan. And we don't make 1 penny on it. Not 1 penny. The only way you make those extra pennies is by when you report your gas, when you buy food, and you call it a lunch. Hey, you know what, J.E.? Yo, let's go to Roof Chris, man, and ball out a little bit. And then you sign off on it, and you claim it as a lunch or a business dinner. Then you can claim it. They don't give, if you spend $200, you don't get the whole 200 back. Business dinner, they're going to probably give you about $60 of that back. You know what I mean? But those little 60s and 20s and $15 here, they add up to the point where if it was $6,000, you might get $6,800 or $7,000, depending on how much you claim. The biggest thing to claim is gas. When you have a business or you have a job, make sure you claim your gas, because that's, you ever buy a car and you go online to fill out a credit app online and the dealership call you, the first thing what insurance asks you is, you using this car for leisure or to and from the work? And when you answer that question, they put it down. But now you know you're using your vehicle to commute back and forth to work. So pay attention. That's what can stop your money too. The insurance company put down your questions, and then they record your answers. They put the question down, boom, 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 you answer them. Oh, everyday use. Is your commute to your workspace, your employment, included in this everyday commute? If you check no, you can't report your gas. Pay attention, listen to me. I know some things. You know what I mean? Now you already know, Jay Money Bag, you gotta use your business card. You know, all my bank accounts is business accounts. You know, but yeah, y'all gotta pay attention, man. You know, and excuse me earlier for getting caught up in that shit, but these people were just so ignorant. Like, bro, that shit public knowledge. Pull a pistol case up, man. OG Mac, Mossy, put anybody's shit up. Once people got time, those records is public knowledge. You know what I mean? Stop getting on here in this internet where people trying to talk about, you know, positivity and trying to help dudes who really don't know. There's probably about 20 people in this chat. Like, damn, I didn't know that. Ain't that you stupid? We don't get this in school. I don't know what they teach the kids now because I haven't been in school in years. But even when I did the business management course from home, they didn't tell me that taxes is just an interest-free loan from us to the government. Before taxes, back when they had castles and knights and shiny armor, taxes was just extortion. They was taking your shit. If you didn't pay your taxes, they would burnt you out your house or took your house from you. Oh, from now on, you're Sir Duke of so-and-so and gave all that land and property to a dude or a representative of the king. These days, because the world recognizes it as, you know, inhumane and basically, you know, brutal living. Okay, we're gonna still receive taxes, but we'll give it back to you at the end of the year. But they giving you that same money back, even less than what they took from you. You know, think about it, man. Assets inventory. That's a fact. Thank you. I'm gonna read that for y'all. I've been up all night. So bear with me. I'm tired, y'all. No. Assets inventory said CK the only person who's been spitting that business shit since he's been on YouTube. That's a fact. But I allowed myself to get pulled in like a little while ago. I fed in and answered the dumb question that the whole world know, man. Let's pull that man shit up, man. Pull it up. It's gonna list Death Row and all them dudes, Little Mo, all them. It's gonna list all them on there. You know what I mean? J Money Back said taxes are only supposed to be in times of war to generate money for weapons and stuff like that. The government saw how much money would be generated from taxes they made in the law. That's right. 100% right. OG Bully Bull TV says, salute, homie. Keep giving up good information. Stay focused. The best is yet to come. Best is to come home. You already know. Salute. You know what I'm saying, y'all? So at the end of the day, man, you know, don't kill yourself, man, trying to buy Christmas gifts, man. If you're going to kill yourself doing something, man, you know, set yourself and your children up, man, with a nice home. So when you get to a certain age and you can't move around no more, you can sit back in a rocking chair. You know, for years I've been coming here to my sister's house. If I need that reprieve, I need that peace of mind, I'll come down south. And I was still running around. I put my jewelry in there, but I was still running. You ever see what it is? Lowered out, poloed out, teddy beared out, doing my ones and twos. You know what I mean? Because when you're a good dude and you solid, you can go in any hood and survive. You know what I mean? Because, yeah, I'm in the gully. I'm in the gutter. My sister just happened to have a nice house. But, yeah, I'm in the hood right now. Driving around, jag truck. But I'm with these dudes. I got some little rapper dudes that I just met, bro. Woo! Woo! Fire. Man, it takes that some time for you to come home to your birthplace. Yeah, we grew up in New York, but we from down here. Mothers, fathers, uncles, aunts, they all come from down here. You know, we had some West Indian roots in us too, but my people came from down here. And when I pop up, it's like Hove popping in Marcy. Everybody come on, yo, Corey home, man. It's Corey King. And I'm out there and I'm vibing with my family and friends. These are my real family and friends down here. To the point where I kind of felt guilty with wearing so much ice and jewelry and then watching dudes run around damn near barefoot. You know what I mean? I didn't get some situations I've been down here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? And not because the little dude needed it, just the fact that I watch him grow and respect me and whatever. Like, oh, man, those are Timbs, man. Then I realized that he never had a pair of Timbs. I just gave my 3/4 beef and broccoli to wear. You're here, take and keep them, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not telling you something, you know, to be clever. I ain't telling you something just to have something to talk about. I'm telling you a fact. I'm down here. And just for the record, I'm gonna probably wait till I hit the motherfucking block. Hit the hood. I'm gonna probably go live for myself. Let's just show y'all, man. Some of this stuff when you go back across the railroad tracks, look like we watching Roots or one of those movies, Harriet Tubman, where people were trying to escape from the slave masters, man. You understand what I'm saying? But it takes for you to come home to your roots to realize what's been missing and what you may have been neglecting. And your personal pursuit of happiness. That's all getting rich is about. Your personal pursuit of happiness, what you perceive to be your happiness. How we were talking about, yo, that's his truth, or that's my truth. Well, your personal truth, based off of what you deem to be your happiness, is what it is, man. And sometimes we neglect other things, man. You know? And so it's time to get back to that. Like I'm getting back to the early morning spill, and, talking that talk. But it's time to get back to what made you want to get that first M. What made you want to make 25K? Because back in the days, 25K was that number. Man, I got to make me 25, 30K, nigga. Like, until you realize it was easy to attain. And then 60 bands became your number. And then you want one of the 100 bands. When I counted my first 100 bands, people that know me as a kid, they'll tell you. I was considered the younger than y'all for a long time. And my first 100 bands came so fast, I didn't realize I had 100 bands until my brother was like, yo, we got to have over 100,000. And I counted, and we both had 100 bands apiece. And some change, about 10, 11,000 on top of that. But then we bought the 190s and 318 odds and all that, and that 100,000 went back down to 40. You know what I'm saying? So you got to pay attention to the fact that a lot of our dreams are not needs and wants, man. Maybe to identify with what's a want, desire, so to speak. I desire, like I want that. As opposed to I need this, or my children need this. How do I attain this without interrupting this right here? This right here, meaning your heartbeat, your children, your mom. Think about it. How many of y'all right now in this chat are still that pure, because I'm pure at heart, that's still that pure at heart that you would do anything, including give your life in order for your mom to live? Yeah, we supposed to bury our moms. You know what I mean? We supposed to bury our mom at a certain point. And now, our dad, our granddad, that we're the children. We're the next generation coming up. They're the forefathers, but eventually we become the forefathers, because the each passing generation, you become the elder, and then your offspring become the future. Until eventually they become the now, and then their children become the future. This is why you got those songs. I believe the children are our future. Couldn't get no realer than that. But it's not handed down from generation to generation because we lost that science. Should I say it's a science that was never given to us. We wasn't given a schematic, plan on how to take this right here and then turn it to this right here. Don't they kind of resemble people? Well, this is us right here. This is our children. Our children become this when we become this. You see how the bottle almost empty? These are elders right here. This is when they sitting in the rocking chair and they doing X, Y, Z. This is our children. They vibrant, full of life. Yeah, I'm using hot sauce. Yeah, I know. Because they think, wow, they got this hot sauce. But listen. This is us. Us right now, me, you, J Money Bags, we about here, right here with this. We still got a lot of life in us. We young OGs. But our grandparents, uncles, and aunts, this is them. But what got them here is rearing us, bringing us up, teaching us about responsibility. I was talking to my sister yesterday, and I was talking about how growing up, and I remember my grandmother, my aunts, and them teaching them how to sew, how to knit. You understand what I'm saying? Come here, girl, get in this kitchen, and show them how to batter the chicken and how to season it before they batter it. She was just talking about how my grandmoms, when she made her chicken, all she had was the salt and pepper for her chicken. Salt and pepper. Right now, we use Lowry's. I use Lowry's. Sazon. I use Sazon. You know what I mean? Like, come on. We eating rice and beans and all that. Back in the days, we had this white rice. Think about it. We didn't even have fried rice. We had white rice. Have you had black-eyed peas and fried chicken? That shit went on the bed of white rice. Think about it. Years later, we start understanding what rice and beans was and stuff like that. But when I was small, I remember everything we ate. I don't care if it was oxen, whatever. My mom's made white rice, bro. You know what I'm saying? Either white rice, sometime when shit was hard, because I told you I grew up poor. When shit was hard, we had rice with eggs. Who remember that? Who in this chat older? Some of y'all might do it down because certain things, when you black and you Spanish, certain things don't die, man. I'm gonna be real with you, man. Certain things don't die. We just had it rough, man. We're people that spoke on, but hardly remembered, man. We struggle more than everybody. Cause dudes, man, the Mexicans taking our jobs. Why not? Why not? They're a minority just like us. They just got more drive and more will. You'll get 16 of them on one job, and their work so good that now we don't get those jobs more. They get them. You know why? They get that shit done in a week. I worked on 45 Park Place. A sheik was building it. 45 Park Place. I'm crazy. 45 Park Place. He was building 45 stories up. Had to be a science behind that. But in the process of building the building up, they got in the insides. I had to rebuild the party wall because they tore part of the party wall off. So I had to get up there with the bricks, and we didn't use regular cement. We used mortar. And I'm up there rebuilding the party wall. I had to build 5 stories of a party wall. So I'm sitting on a scaffold like this. We didn't even have a whole elevator. We had a lift, and we had to ride the lift down. I got the water hose inside the motherfucking mixer, that shit on the scaffold. You know what that means? If the scaffold was not put together, this is why I got my scaffolding card. Right? Those that know the game know you got the 4-hour scaffolding, which is really nothing. I got the 16, but then you got to go back and get the 32. That's the foreman. All right. And I'm on this wall building. I'm not even thinking about looking down. I'm just working, trying to get that shit done. I want to get it off the scaffold because they down there and they got the little cats, the little bulldozers, and they ride across the foundation beams, bro. Soldering and then bing, and they ain't taking the whole thing over. They go down, bink. They tear everything else off, and they ride those 2 beams that just said bing and went down. They ride those down to the next floor. Then you got to do it up top right here. And he sorted those. They got the little bobcat with the little crane out, holding. So once he sorted it loose, it goes down to the next level, and then you got to do this on that floor because it's still a solid floor. And he hit him in half. They put them together and they send him down. You know what I mean? At this stage in the game, they not even what was they? They were Ecuadorian. They wasn't even Mexican, right? But they taught me the scrap game. Yo, listen. Usually we scrap it, but you've been here for a while, my friend. Yeah, you can have a scrap. Yo, bro, I got 2 big piles to the side of the ceiling of scrap metal. And I called my man, yo, Scott, you still be doing the scrapping? Yeah. Yo, the Ecuadorian dude just gave me all this scrap metal. He came and says, yo, bro, what? This is bread. I got a whole nother pile over here, copper. Not being in tune, that was a whole business. He scrapped it, gave me bands, and he walked away with bands. Because I did everything with him 60-40. He get 40% for scrapping it, and I get 60 because, it's my fine. Boom. And all this time, Christmas time come, I got the extra bread. I got a $6,000 bonus check. You know what I mean? And I bought expensive gifts. Now, time is getting hard. Y'all know I'm a money man. I'm looking. That stash is low, bro. Plus, I had a mishap and a mistake. You know what I mean? That costed me about 20 grand. You know what I mean? So it's like, you don't think about these things, or maybe you do and you just don't want to talk about it, mention it. Because some people hit a panic, but I don't. I just get savvier. I find a new hustle. Because I don't really know how to do bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can just, boom, I know what to do. And for some reason it works. I touch it, it turns gold. You know what I'm saying? But the truth of the matter, a person want to say, yo, CK broke. You know what? You're right. You know why? I don't have nothing compared to what I should have. I should have at least 100 acres of land right now with the amount of money I made since I've been home, man. But with me struggling to make sure everybody had a nice gift. There's dudes out there that you look up to, yo, that's my nigga. Yo, son, get the bag. Ask him who put that first roller in the arm. Because I was giving those kind of gifts away for Christmas. I was having parties in Houston, and when you come to my party, all my elite friends, I gave away rollies, imitating and copying Puffy in them. Now, if Puffy never do it, we don't know about rollie parties. Now, who gonna be out there and combat me and tell me anything different? We up north in Puffy giving rollies. I wasn't out there for all that. You know what I mean? But Benny just mentioned Pistol Pete and them was. Him and Tyson Bedford and them, they've been to the Rolex parties and all that. Probably received the rollie. If he was the lead. You know what I mean? I'm in prison hearing about all this. I'm in prison watching Aaron Hall, I Miss You videos and Jodeci. I wasn't home for none of that. Mary J. Blige, I wasn't home for none of that. But had I been, I wouldn't have started to get all this stuff in 2003. I would have been getting it back in the Uptown Records era. Because I knew Heavy D and Father MC, all them dudes. We came around, we hung with them. We had jewelry and shit on. But everybody that I knew wasn't wearing rollies. I had a rollie because I robbed somebody for it. You know what I mean? Just being 100 with it. I stole one. I ain't robbed a person. We robbed a jewelry store. And they probably had about 100 rollies in there, but they had 5 sitting in the case. And I went right to the rollie cake. I knew where it was at. It ran out. And me and all my brothers had one. You know what I'm saying? So I had that. I didn't pay for it, though. But just imagine the amount of jewelry that we stole. That we converted that into land. Gold blocks would have been nice, too. But we wasn't that in tune. To think about gold blocks or do diamond high. So we wasn't that in tune, wasn't that advanced. We didn't have, you know, a dude sitting there putting together these, you know, these heist for us. All that. We was just young, reckless kids that knew how to do a garbage can through a jewelry store window. That's what we knew. But all that life sacrificing, because if anybody in there, hey, Detroit, salute. If anybody in that store had a gun, one of us was dead. So yeah, we sacrificed life in order for what we deem to be riches. Only for me now to sit here years later and look at y'all, because yeah, I'm looking at y'all. I can't see everybody's face, but I see your name. That's good enough for me to know that my people were in here. And tell y'all that it's time for us to start being wise with our spending. It's time for your children to start respecting you more than a paycheck. All my kids do is call me when they begging. Dad, I want a snack. Dad, a snack. Dad, I need my hair done. Dad, it's that. It's not. You know what I asked them? Okay, that's cool. You want to get your hair done? Did you ask me how my back feel? Because my back and my legs are soft for me running and grinding, state to state, to make sure my kids is all right. I mean, Rockefeller said, I've never been a fan of gangs. I just saw a pic of Mac Ballers dudes with coochie sweaters, and they brought me back to good times. Elaborate about them dudes. You know what I mean? We get to that, Rockefeller. Let me just finish the spill, right? But I sit before y'all today, explaining to y'all now, even myself, I erred. The people that really know CK wholeheartedly know I was playing with a bag, bro. A lot of dudes scream every dudes out that I created. Some of your favorite rappers from all around the world shout out my underlings. You know what I mean? El Praga, what's good, homie? Salute. You know what I mean? They think I'm the disgruntled, hated dude, or I'm the dude who sat there and was put on with action. I put everybody on. And I mean everybody. Because I was home first and I had a game plan. I'm still working my game plan. You know what it's called? It's called for sure dollars, man. For sure money. That means that if the money not for sure, I don't want no parts of it. I'm not in. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no parts of it. I'm not doing nothing on the whim. I ain't freestyling nothing. That's how you end up in the penitentiary. Boxer Law said CK going to the pawn shop soon. Son broke. That can't never happen. You know why, La? I got friends like you that's going to make sure I don't do it. All right? So cut that nonsense out. But if I had to, I would, though, you heard? My jury in there. I got my jury in there, bro. I had my shit too long. So all I did was tweak out old jury. You know what I mean? You can go to prison and snap. If you got the good family members, they don't take and steal your jury. You come home and your jury's in place. All right? That jury I got in there, you can't get those chains no more. You know what I mean? You can get them, but you can't get that gold. Some of the best gold was never American gold, bro. It was either Guyanese or Italian. And do your math on that. You know what I mean? When y'all see me on here, yo, hit the Cash App, yo, see me. You know what I mean? Boom. I know lie. That's why I said. Lie said just fucking with you, a survivor. I know that lie, but like I said, I got friends like you, J.E. Moneyback, that never see me broke like that. I bring my watch to y'all if I go to a pawn shop. Whether my friends have something, if I need to get on my feet and give it back to them people. You know what I mean? And that's real. You're ready on the phone. Your J Money back. What? I need to hold like 50, man. What you want? 2 watches? We need, 3 chains? I go to my family and my friends, bro. Because I can't never get back. I know y'all, it's in good hands. Y'all got it. Because I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in what I got. Dude don't even know right now. My left knee, my back, this elbow will be hurting. But it came from me working, moving the stores, hoisting pianos up through windows and selling cars at Major Chevrolet. Some people would say, yo, I know him from. I said, yo, I sold you a car. Oh, wow, yo, son, the Jeep Cherokee. I went through mad trials and tribulations, and that's why I'm still free. Had I took to the street, I probably would have been back in the prison system, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah, I sold my little bud here and there. I did that because I started making babies. When I was up north, I didn't have no kids. So once you start doing shit, I mean, Sunset said, I used the pawn shop a few times. That's why it's important to have gold. Facts, bro. Anybody that know me, bro, know I got collateral, bro. That jewelry is for me to rock and floss when it's good. Let me go broke. But I ain't going to a pawn shop, though. I'm going to the dope man. You know what I mean? The dope man gonna give you what you're supposed to get for it. Pay attention now. I keep telling you, you can learn a lot from a dummy, man. I'm only dumb some of the times. And I feed into dumb shit like that, dumb questions earlier. You know what I mean? But most of the time I'm on point, man. I go to the dope man. I go to dudes that own businesses that I know I can get my jury back. If you give it to the wrong person, soon you leave his store, he don't know you. He ain't coming back. That man will sell your watch. He just loaned you $5,000. He just sold your shit back for the same $25 you paid for it. You know what I mean? They should eat it in respect. You know? But that's a fact, though. Let me get twisted, homie. I'm going to the dope man. And I don't want cash, you heard? Holla at that. I want no cash, man. You know what I need, man? I need that thing right now, man. Out comes the hood. Then you little YouTube junkies and cornballs got something to worry about. I come back to the street. That's my block, my corner. The nigga in the bodega store, he's setting it out. It's going down. You don't need me back in the street. I've been out the street too long, you heard? Son said, nah, they legit, they're going to give you a contract. Yeah, but they break the contracts, though. You heard none of your ass, bro? I did that. Gave you money back. The only dude that know this. I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all, right? I had my cousin Prime, everybody. You know, we doing our thing, get money. But everything that glitters ain't gold. I actually sold the gold pretty. I want to show you something, too. From way back when we were doing with me, Mel Crossing on the block. My little cousin, he watched all this. He pointed something out that, and I was like, yeah, I got the rollie. Jack Force went around the corner like, it ain't real. You know what I mean? So the hate was way back then. So that's something I'm going to point out to you later on one of my other lives. But I sold that gold predator, man. I went to the jeweler. I said, yo, I bought it when gold was down. So I said, yo, what I gave you like 15 for this? He said, yeah. I said, I ain't gonna lie. I said, yo, I made a bad move and I'm kind of broke. But the truth of the matter is, motherfucker ain't pay me for 80 bags. That's when Arizona was still busting. You know what I mean? My cousin. You know I can't kill him. Then he bad mouth me to Fab, all his little rapper friends and all that. You know, just recently me and Ruggs had a little little spat of them talking to him, and you got a clown behind me doing shit behind my head and all that shit because their family be the ones that do certain shit to make people have a bad taste in your mouth to shield their dirty shit, what they did. Nigga ain't pay me for 80 pounds of Arizona, but made his mans them think that I was the irate one. I did knock a plug out, but, you know, because he kept putting his cigar and my cousin drinks, I duffed him out. But all that was held against me. Not the fact that, you know what, my cousin's still the same way he gonna protect us. No, it was held against me. But in the process of being held against me, nigga broke me, bro. Come on, see, come and bring it right back. And it's niggas that fuck with us, like Don Murder them, that's gonna be able to tell niggas, nah, the truth of the matter is, CK always been that nigga. We came home to that nigga. Son took something from him and didn't want to pay him, so he made all y'all think CK was the crazy wild guy was gonna take something from y'all. That's why Fab, they fuck with me, but they don't really fuck with me. Because niggas casted a bad shadow over the nigga who put them on, though. I ain't never stole nothing from nobody in my life, bro. Never played nobody, none of that. No, I ain't calling his name because he resting in peace right now. But the nigga took 80 pounds of motherfucking Arizona from me, bro. Popcorn. My own family, yo, bro, I got you. Just give me like 2 weeks. And because he was known for doing that, I trust him to yo, get ahead. You know what I mean? And in order to get more, because I was only paying $250 a pound for the Ari. In order to get more, I just said, you know what? I get another rollie next month. I took it off. And my jeweler, knowing how I move, he said, all right, I'm going to give you $12,000 for it, but it'll be here. That's the first time he said, you don't need no contract, CK. It'll be here when you get back. You know what I mean? By that time, I had a different taste of watches, and I bought me an AP when I came back a month later. I had to take 12 grand to send to the plug, homie, because I owe money now. The nigga took that food from me. You know what I mean? But that 12 grand made them send me some more money. Already used to me sending some bread, and when they sent that more, I took all that. Everybody. Now, when I was only charging niggas 9 for a bag, when it's charging 11, I'm charging 8. And when I finished, I paid them for what they just sent and what I owe. And that put me back at Easy Street. Then the next hit was all profit. But in the process, I had to sell something that I work hard for. I work jobs for that watch, but I didn't just get out there and hustle and sell keys. I didn't sell keys since I've been home. You know what I mean? I left all that alone. I work hard jobs, bro, until I learned how to sell cars at Major Chevrolet. I had my little gimmick where you come and do a trade-in. You do the trade-in, I get your deal pushed through, but I keep the trade-in. I had a dude that work special finance that can get the deal done straight out. I'm fronting for you with the paint meter, and I'm making sure, boom. I think it was hit right here. Oh, yeah, they had a little bump. Now, you know, you guys, I ain't gonna lie, boy. Well, I don't worry about it, though, boom. Nigga give me the title. I go to the dude special finance. Yo, listen, it's a Cadillac. You want to do, I get to keep it. Now you give me a caddy next time, I got to keep it. And homie was helping me work that. I had like 9 cars in my block. I'm parked up. My paint man at the block, hitting little dents and all that stuff like that or whatever. And had dudes coming, $5,000 a pop. I don't care if I had a Benz truck. I was the 5K man. Ask anybody in Florida. Now CK had the cars for 5 G's, Maximas. I had the ML trucks, 5K man, because I ain't paid for them. They was free. They were free joints. I just had everybody in my hood looking like some flappers. Those and the Infinities, the Q45s. I had like 20 of those joints, 5K a piece. I go back to work with the envelope, hit my finance man, hold that. You know what I mean? So I learned little tricks of games. So of course I earned my rollie. You know what I mean? I had to sell it because me and trusting in somebody who to this day I love, I wear them on my neck and all that. But it's the principle that you don't do that to family, man. You know what I mean? Actually, it was just said, that's impossible. 30 million not supposed to last. That's why we blow it. It was never ours. Facts, bro. But this is the point I'm making right now. Had I had good sense, like some of our friends, they got good sense. They own nightclubs. But if I had good sense, I would have turned around, you know what I mean? And did the right thing with that money. But I was blowing it, bro. I was in clubs, buying 10 bottles, and my man come home from jail, throw a rollie on his arm and something on his neck. The next hit come, what you gonna do, bro? I'm gonna get back on my ground. What you need? I need about 10 stacks. You hit. Because I had so many cars I saw. I got like 40, 50 bands in the house. I'm gonna come home rubbed off too, so I'm a fool with money. It's giving it away to everybody. Let me go broke today and tomorrow. I bet you I can't get it down from nobody. You haven't tell you. It's wild here in the R. And it's not trucker friendly. You work for your stuff. And the tow company still your 53 years trailer. Exactly. Also, I've always wanted to pursue them dealership license. And Everett, that's a whole fact, man. This is what I'm trying to tell people, though. They understand, yo, bro, forget the recession. It's a recession and it's inflation, bro. You know how it is when things are highly expensive, but then it's a recession, so there's no real money coming in. That's a bad combination. That's a bad combination, man. You can't possibly expect to survive in today's economy. We got everybody out here, we average at least 4 to 5 children. Every last one of us. 4 to 5 children. Who we here don't have 4 or 5 kids? I know I do. That's why Slim Slammer, everybody won't make it. But we can if we stop hating each other. We stop fighting and killing each other. I'm not gonna lie, nigga. Look at my face. Look, all my haters. I want everybody, Divine, everybody listen to this. If CK get broke, nigga, I'm knocking on your door and you're gonna give me a cup of rice, I'm taking it. You know what I mean? Nigga, because we ain't supposed to be out here starving. How is so many of us out here and we gonna let each other starve? If that's what's going on. You know, shit, we might well get back in the cotton field with chains around our arms and neck then. Because that's what's going to happen. We're going to start working for pork bellies. And I ain't talking about the stomach and the meaty part and the ham. We talking about the intestines, chitlins, all over again. Why do you think they call our music venues the chitlin circuit? Get it? The chitlin circuit. Why? These are the forgotten people, the people that they don't really care about. This is why Tyler Perry blew, because he acknowledged the Chitlin Circuit. This is why the Mary J. Bliges and the Patti LaBelles and the Temptations won. They acknowledged the Chitlin Circuit because all we could do was perform in front of our own people until our music became so overbearing that they couldn't stop it. And it broke through barriers and became national. But the Chitlin Circle is clearly all slave land, homie. That whole territory. Slave master control, man. So when they became free, some of them volunteered to stay on the plantation because they had no other life. They didn't know where to go. Harriet Tubman didn't free everybody. The Underground Railroad didn't save everybody. Remember, they went back and took some of them slaves back at one point. And they found out they all was all up in Boston and places like that. And in Philly and Pennsylvania, they went back and they took them back to slavery until slavery became abolished. And even then, they still had certain slaves working, man. We only know about chitlins because them crackers ain't know about nothing but the pork belly and the legs. And so our people, in order to live, took the chitlins, found out how to clean the feces out of it and all that, clean it up. And boil them and cook them and realized that they was working with something. They turned around and took chitlins from us and put them in a jar. Fact, Slim Slammer, we freaked it. We freaked it. And they realized that we were becoming more healthy than them off of chitlins. You know what I mean? And all for whatever vegetation we found and turned to herbs, spices. You know, this is why we understand what cilantro is today. Because we had the elders that was one with earth and understood certain herbs and certain berries and what to stay away from, called the Indians. I'm doing my history right now. Come to find out I'm Indian. Didn't even know it. So for those y'all out there, don't take that heritage.com lightly, man. That shit for real. I can show you right now stuff in here about my grandfather and how he made the paper. He almost drowned. And his childhood friend, which is my mother cousin, happened to pull him out the water, but it made the newspaper. Somehow a reporter was there and picked it up. You know what I mean? Boogeyman was good. You already know I'm here. I'm here, Boogeyman. You know what I mean? But Sunset Harriet Tubman said that she could have freed more people if they only knew that they were slaves. Now, that's a fact. That's a fact, bro. But you understand what I'm saying? So I'm going to always be the first to admit, bro, I could have did a whole lot better. Yeah, I saved some lives. You know, I helped father a few businesses, a few restaurants that people later selfishly sold without being concerned with who contributed to them and all that. But yeah, the only reason I'm saying what I'm saying, I'm speaking out now, because it's a damn shame that I'm one of the livest niggas that came out of Brooklyn. You're hearing someone, yeah, my nigga Green, he in the A. It's in that Axe Green who was in DFY with him, though, from a kid, robbing and stealing and doing shit like that. Well, ask him that. Watch what he tell you. What? Call you my little man. Because we've always been big, bro. Well, ask him that. Ask his man from his P's. G with the gold teeth, Dariah Glenn. Mitchell Rose from out of motherfucking what you calling this shit. You know what I mean? Hey, come on, man. Niggas don't understand what's going on, man. I did time with these dudes as kids. They're gonna tell you what? Him, nah. Never a salty, fake background, bro. Never. And it's crazy that dudes rock with these dudes, but don't trust me because my own flesh and blood planted a bad seed in dudes' heads against me. Because he owed me money. his main man, his partner from way back then, rocking me now, he know the truth. That yeah, son did you bad, CK. Man, about the money, man. Money come and go, homie. I'm always eat, breathe shit money, homie. Cause I'm not afraid to work with my hands. You know what I mean? I know how to use a table saw. I know how to use a hand saw. I know how to sand with sandpaper. I know how to use handheld sanders to big sanders. You know? I know the difference between a 45 and 90-degree angle because I had wood shop. I know how to weld, use the oxygen and acetylene, and you know, we tap and we solder with welder rods and all that. I learned all that. I went to school for all that in DFY, in jail. You know what I mean? I studied the tape. I know how to use dark rooms and, you know, develop printing presses and negatives with A and B solutions and all that. I went to school for all that. I didn't have a choice. They make you go to school when you in juvenile and when you in prison and you in jail if you ain't got your GED. Yeah, exactly. And homie said skills, salt, and T-squares. That's the first thing they teach you, the T-square. So you been to school. Day one, you been to school, bro. That nigga knows skills, salt, and T. That's the first thing they teach you. Then the first thing they teach you after that is how to make a picture frame. You know what I mean? J Moneybag, am I lying? When you go to college school, the first thing they teach you is how to make a picture frame. Then once you master the picture frame and then how to do wood foundations and you know how to build door frames and how to put studs in place. So this way, when a person do want to put a TV up, that's a stud. That's a stud they putting in the wall so you can. That's where you need the stud finder. Once you find a stud, you. I learned all that, man. That's why I got all of the certifications in my wallet that I got, man. Because I learned all that. I went to school for all that. But none of that prepared me for what's going on with today's economy, bro. None of it. If I knew back then what I knew now, adding the lift and the width to get the area. That's a fact. That's a fact, day one. You know what I mean? If I knew back then what I know now, bro, I would have never played with that money and resources. Because now I'm riding around here. I'm looking at a bunch of land I want to buy up. Because technically, we shouldn't have to buy it. It's rightfully ours. We're Indian. But what was once considered, you know, gully land and swamp land has turned out to be the most fertile land out here. And these people snatching it up. We got a paper mill over here called the Boise Paper Mill. You got people in this town right now, everybody catching cancer and dying. And they feel like it has something to do with that paper mill. The only problem is when they speak out against it, something happens to somebody. Yeah, we in those times. We're in those times. Down here. We went back to 1986. Down here. Where shit can happen. Just in case that schema was bad, very bad, CK, you need to put him under the wing again and make him get a job. Hey, just in case, let me tell you something, right? Schemo got to help himself, bro. Schemo never left the ring. Don't let him play the old moves and that. He don't mean that boy love me to death. He cursed me out all day. Let him be standing there and somebody else bother me. Schemo will pop on him. You know CK don't lie. I get mad at niggas sometimes. Yeah, I know I don't lie on people, man. You know what I mean? If a dude get busy, I'm going to say, yeah, he got busy. I tell you that. He ain't no triple threat, but he going to pop it off, though. He just do what he do, but Schemo ain't going to let my disrespect me and try to hurt me in the street. That's why I don't really go crazy on him. CK, you seen behind the ball. Oh, punk ass with 10. Yeah, if you pay attention on IG and on here, I got all kinds of stuff messing with him and shit, man. I mean, laughing at him. You know? I got stuff on here right now messing with him. Let me see. I got all kinds of stuff messing with him, man. Cause I tried to warn him and he wasn't getting it. After my nigga made the milk, man. Yo, my nigga, you finally made, you went viral, my nigga. Damn, why the volume just went down? Oh. It's gonna play again. Yo, shout out to my nigga made the milk, man. Yo, my nigga, you finally made, you went viral, my nigga. Yo, shout out to you, my nigga. Even though you was about to wake up next to the Wonder Bread. You know what I mean? I gotta jump up. Tito, you should have took the sandwich, man. You took the sandwich, Tito. You my hero. You know what I mean? I've been messing with him all week. Look, where everyone at? Look. Yo, my nigga, what's wrong with you? Wake up, my nigga. Get up. What's wrong with you, my nigga? Oh. What happened? You got to knock the fuck out. Oh. I got my sandwich now. You know what I mean? Me and Pink, that's what you hit the back last part. Me and Pink been thrashing them ever since. You know what I mean? Hold up, let me see something. You turn it back on. Oh, my nigga, what's wrong with you? Wake up, my nigga. Get up. What's wrong with you, my nigga? Oh. What happened? You got to knock the fuck out. Oh. I got my sandwich now. And me and the milkman would have gone to the police. This would never have happened. You know what I mean? Been thrashing them, been thrashing them since it went down. I'm sorry, 10 Toes, my dude, but just his size alone, when it shook me a little bit, it just made me hook on him. I would think he gonna hook, but made me like this. That's how you really feel? Nah, nigga, he only spitting in your face, my nigga. He's trying to clean your glasses. That nigga made me sit like this. CK, you think I did bad? You did very bad. You pulled his stole on him. He took off running and made him chase you. Ran in the middle of the street screaming, help, help, help. 10 Toes probably let you get away with the punch, man. You know what I mean? You ain't budged, man. How you gonna fight me, man? I'm worse than 10 Toes. I would have hit you. Then I would start talking to you. People have been knocking on people's doors, asking about Hassan and Bombada. After Hassan got shot, would have been a bad move. Hey, listen to me, yo. Being real with you, he don't know. If he not left that building, he might have got killed, bro. He playing around in Bronx River. I don't care what happened to Hassan out there, if it really happened out there. All I'm saying is, that's that man's stomping ground. Not only that, that's Bambana's stomping ground. You know, the Zulu Nation do be all around the Bronx. We're here knocked on one of them old retired Zulu Nation dudes' door. Yo, you know Hassan Cabby, He said, yeah. Come right on in. And got him inside there and hit the help button. You know what I mean? I'll be right back. He made a phone call. Yo, it's this dude over here. I got him in the building. Hurry up. Dude would come from all type of apartments, stomping that man into a jelly sandwich. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, man. You know what I mean? Y'all got to stop taking the internet shit too far, man. Think about it, yo. But it made the internet funny again, though. You know what I mean? He just played with his life, though. He didn't know what he was doing. I get what he was trying to do, but cloud chasing went wrong, but it could have went wronger. You know what I mean? For real, man. Nigga said, bro, you got to leave people alone. I'm too old to get shot. Laughing out loud. Now, but for real, bro, it did make it funny. Like we all had our little meme, little jokes, but it's supposed to stay at that point right there. Dude got to stop getting online, lying on people, and Frank standing and I'm gonna send the Addy. They send you the Addy to the precinct and the building next door to the precinct. Like, come on, man, get real. Let's have some integrity. Let's get back to integrity, man. Even Harlem Legend, see what he said. I'm getting back to content, bro. Dudes get tired after a while. You're gonna keep combating another dude's imagination because it's not fact. Some of it is fact. Maybe 20% of it is fact. The other 80 is all fiction, bro. Dudes is coming from they mind and creating situations that never took place. It's crazy. Yeah, and in my situation too, all that shit is lies. People don't even know what's going on, man. You know what I mean? I knew Pistol P for every minute of 5 minutes, basically. He was at HDM. He went home, got bailed out. He came back. He went to the Beacon. I see him in the Beacon maybe 2 times. We wasn't even in the same house. And the nigga went home again. That's again, I know we seen the nigga on the TV. But now, dude, you had a separation with Pistol Pete. Nigga, I was in prison. I never went home. You know what I'm saying? And don't even know him like that. He know who I am. I know who he is. And I did see him over there in the Fed. Yo, CK, what up, boy? Yo, boy, yeah, what up, boy? And that was that. We don't know nothing about each other. He'll tell you that. Yeah, me and Mel Cross, we vibe, we chop it up. You know what I mean? Not only Pistol Pete, situation, even the fake paperwork with Bullets Gotti or whatever. I had a lot. I've been saving that boy life since he did that. Dude's been seeing him. Yo, CK. I'm like, yo, bro, please leave the man alone, bro. Say he on internet getting wrecked. He don't realize what he's doing. Nah, bro. But I gotta really sit there. And by the time of me arguing, it's like it gave him a grace period to disappear. Yo, where he went? And you hear the little homie's feet running, trying to catch up on him. You know what I mean? Like, when I've been saying them, I don't gotta do that. I can laugh and let them send me a video. The point is, CK don't want to see nobody get hurt, bro. Like, this shit is for real. That's it. I said, yeah, get him. And somebody kill him. Whether it be intentionally or by accident. You know what I just did? I successfully signed my own death certificate. Because I ain't going to hold you. I ain't going to jail for murder, my nigga. And I ain't talking about telling. You feel me? So before I pull an SI, I'm always tell people, yo, son, I can handle my own affairs. I ain't with that. Leave that alone, man. But I ain't dying in prison, bro. You know what I mean? So you know what that means? Either you die in prison or you die in the street. I got too much pride to go out like a sucker, looking forward to oatmeal and commissary. So you know what that means, right? And not myself. They're gonna have to gun me down. You know what I mean? So before that happened, I take the job route like I've been doing. I got my company, King Management and Training Group. So when those contracts come, I'm good. But you know what happened? The government wiped me out. It didn't break me, but it hurt. I felt it. When you're making $10,000 a month off of one contract. But now the shit happened in Ukraine. And the first thing they do is take all the hotels. Remember, I had hotel security. They take all the hotels and turn them into city contracts. I'm gonna say a homemade company. Come on, I got a homemade company. I made my own company. Extra homemade companies out, and now they're using city related, city-owned security companies. You know you just did? They just created a deficit. They just made a void in the community of all the people who were providing jobs for all the Hispanic and Black males all over New York City, New Jersey, and Connecticut. You just wiped this out in one move. Thank you, Mayor Adam, for destroying lives. We get the outreach point, but had you had somebody actually do numbers and do stats, you would have found out all the businesses y'all killed are all minority, man. We all came up in the construction game. and got these construction companies locked in and the hotels locked in, providing security. I had to lay off 14 employees, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I had to lay off 14 people, man. I had 14 to 21 people that was working for me, my company. Then I had another like 200-300 people that got jobs under other companies through my understanding and agreement with these companies. So the ones that got construction jobs, they're still working. I don't make money off of it, though. I don't charge my people. They're still working. But my personal company, I had to lay off 14 security guards, yo. Literally. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. In one move, a black man sitting in office that came up through the ranks, he was a cop and all that, but he came up through the ranks of the construction era. He came up through the ranks of watching us fight over job sites and stuff like that. Shit, Moloch lost his life in Coney Island over this shit. And if you ever good men got killed over Shorty for 24th and all that. Shorty Long. These dudes lost their life over a game that now, in one move, Mayor Adams, and he shot us in favor of some people that's not even from this country, bro. In favor of Ukraine, he shot us and made us lose our businesses, bro. I still got my business. I lost all my major contracts. $10,000 a month, $3,500 a week. Once I pay my staff, I walk away with like $1,800. That's just one hotel. Lost all our businesses, bro. You know? That's how come I know what's a dude around me that's eating my dick daily for Devontae. CK is broke. Because somebody told me, CK lost his contracts. Nigga, I can't never be broke, you heard? I'm one of God's kids, my nigga. I mean, when one situation fall, it never will open up. But somebody telling them that, could be the same nigga. And I told him, yeah, my nigga, like I just lost a major contract and shit. So for him to scream that after I say that, you know what I mean? You know what time it is. Niggas still eat my dick, you know what I mean? I'm not broke. No. They cut it out. Exactly, bro. They cut out the independent contractor. Before the Ukraine war, I grossed like $21,000 in 9 days running refrigerated loads out of the Midwest. When the war started, the load board went down. Exactly, bro. Let the money out. What up, my dude? You know what I mean? You already know. Salute to you, too. And see in the building. You know? But yeah. So while I'm not broke, I did take a hit, though. Took a major hit. That was like my main contract. That shit was, I ate it for 5 years, though. For 5 years straight, I was getting that 10 grand plus the 35 every week. Pay attention. You know what I mean? That's 13.5. You know what I'm saying? Actually, it's more than that because you got to think about it. 3,500 a week. I was walking home with 18 every week. To the 18 times 4 plus the monthly check. I was killing them. You know what I mean? I was buying cars off of that shit like I had drug money, nigga. You know what I mean? For real. Help my everybody in my family is pushing vehicles, nice ones too. You know what I'm saying? Right now, between me and my little brother Un, we got enough vehicles to put cars under a whole team ass. We got cars. I got cars that's being painted Infinities and Maximas and Altimas right now as we speak. Because I can never be broke. Come next month, income tax time, boing, boing. You know what I mean? All them cars is being sold, man. So I can't never be broke. You know what I mean? But did I take a hit? Yeah. You know? That goes out to you, Mr. Both Sides of the Fence. You think I ain't know? I know. When I say I lost the contract, I only told 2 people. All of a sudden, Divine, CK, bro, I ain't broke. Nigga, I took a big hit on some legal money. I got cars that was already being put together, axles being replaced and fixed, and you know what I mean? Fenders being and lights being replaced where it got into a hit, and I went to the crash yard and bought it for little or nothing. You know why? I got too many schemes and hustles, bro. I'm not gonna never sit around on my ass and say, damn, what I'm gonna do now? And have to pick a gun up. I'm hustle man, man. I'm hustle man. You know what I mean? The same way, yeah, CK, bro. I be sitting there washing somebody's windows on McDonald's. Leave there and go to Burger King. And clean windows and get a grip. Cause I got that skill under my belt. The next time I'm in my time zone, I'm gonna go to my storage and pull all my tools out. My tool compressor sets, my pressure washers, all that. You're gonna say, damn, they got a whole business sitting right there inside of a storage unit. That's all the storage unit is for, is a whole bunch of boxes. I got saws, I got weed whackers. How could I go broke? Let's make this make sense now. How could I go broke? Think about it. Think about it. You know what I mean? I can sell you tractors, all that. I can sell you tractors right here at my sister's house. Like, I grew up, man. I grew up a certain way that we kept tools and stuff around. You know why? You can't get it done way. My grandfather, my father, uncle all handed down. God damn it, get it with your hands. And I got some big hands. You know what I mean? It ain't just for smacking. You know what I mean? Get out there and get to work, man. And guess what? No pride and no shame, homie. Look at that nigga, yo, boom. He cleaning windows that me down. I know. Window cleaners get $100,000 a year though. Or sometime more, depending on how high you're willing to go up on the scaffold. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, so guys, salute, guys. I just realized you were up in there. You know what I mean? What up? Nah, but I got a body shop in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I'm gonna start posting the address for everybody in North Carolina. Go support my body shop. Car getting the crash down here, whatever. Send that insurance job to me, man. You know what I mean? Everybody that say your CK, I got the information over YouTube. The first one is on your insurance company. If they ever feel they don't want to play, then the second one will be on me. Get your car fixed. You know what I mean? Because that's what I need right now. We're having people coming with cash. I need some insurance deals. So you get into a car accident and you're in North Carolina, hit me up. I got a whole body shop. You know what I mean? I'm going to start going live and showing them I'm in the body shop and they can see. Then you can see my affinities and all that I got already ready to go for next month. You know? It is what it is, man. Stilo Facts, salute. Welcome to the chat. You know? Yeah, but what it do, guy? What up? What's going on with you? You know? But yeah, man, you know, so at the end there, whatever, it's all about the hustle, man. You know what I mean? Now, you already know, son, you know, love is always love, bro. You know? But I've been on here for 2 hours and 11 minutes, man. Let me go ahead, man, later. I was out there with the young boys, man. You know? Let me show you something, right? This is how this is how your boy CK work, right? Wow. Most dudes would have came out here and just ate potato salad and all the rest of that. Look what I was doing. I got me 3 new artists. From my hometown, my heritage, my family hometown. Look at this right here. Check it out. Hi, Brent. This studio like this, look. Money, baby. went to play, no time to play. No, I'm a chill. So on the ooze and overtime. He gonna be afraid to rip off your fucking head like a gator. He ain't money coming back later. I know them bitches wanna see me fail, and I know them niggas wanna see me hit. Know how I'm coming on with shit. He crazy on me in the scene. Different hustles, all kind of shit. I got murder on my mind and shit. Niggas on my family. That's what crazy, so that homie got shot, but yeah, we gon' flatline them niggas. Yeah, we gon' blind them niggas. I gotta get it, my grind religion. If I see what we gon' mind with them men, me and Scotty in the bed. Me and Scotty in the bed. With some man, get it. And she down to get the drop, we gon' spin it. Holiday when they drop, we get lit. Get it. I'm a shot, but ain't being specific. Yeah, that's how shit really get wicked. Earning money on my edge. It's around, they know who run the city. Niggas talking, but they bang on me. I fuck around it up and fill up the city. Keep the shooter straight in the county. You'll never get me where you found me. You them like clown. I don't need no white down. Tripping, they play noise up. You don't want to come between the bucks. Try rolling by snow on the blow. It's my boy put a tray in my cup. Skirt out on a bitch cause she was too playful. No time to play. No, I'm a player. Ain't got time. I'll see you later. Silence on the ooze up potato. Slide. You gonna be friendly. Fuck your fucking head like a gator. Any money coming by the layers. I know the bitch wanna see me fail. And I know the nigga wanna see me hit. Know how I'm coming on shit. Getting crazy on me. Different hustles, all kind of shit. I got murder on my mind and shit. 5 niggas on my family. That's what crazy, so that homie got shot, but yeah, we gon' flatline them niggas. Always stay in your grind. I came down here with my sister, everybody. First thing I said, yo, with everybody that rapping, they be having ciphers, and my peoples brought me right to them. Hello. You know what I mean? Simple. So now I just got 3 new artists from right here in Alabama. You know what I mean? They say, yo, CK, you can't help Scheme Team one time, once and for all. Get him on his feet. Let me tell you something. If Scheme wanted my help, Scheme had to call my phone. Dudes know I'm not vindictive. Ain't know I'm one of the most forgiving dudes they ever met. You know what I mean? He need to come holler at me. You know what I mean? I ain't reaching out to nobody. You want help? Reach out to me. That's that. You know what I mean? We got about 8, 9 cars he can wash. Ask him if he clean and peel potatoes. You know, could work in the kitchen and peel potatoes, clean the jack mat like he used to up north with the one finger, the jack mat. You know what I mean? Now I'm fucking with y'all. Well, CK, go handle that nigga. Nah, you know, at the end of the day, people do what they do, man. And people are they are, man. You know what I mean? You got a little yard work, though. He can come rake these leaves around my sister's house. You know what I mean? I help him in that department. But nah, Scheme know he want to help. He know how to holler at me. He just said, nah, laugh my ass off. Niggas know what time it is. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and dogs don't go and keep talking real talk shit. That's what I'm on, bro. That's why these dudes be sitting around, they see me come live, and they come in and act dumb, sit in the chat. It's like, come on, bro. And then and they really on the ever side of the equator. You know what I mean? In a small town, nowhere near California, but getting online playing with me. You know what I mean? I've never seen a bunch of people that claim a city or be in Little Rock, Arkansas somewhere fronting. You know what I mean? Your ass out here, nigga. I know that's you, boy. Little curly Jerry curl juice hair ass, boy. You know what I mean? But anyway, let me get ahead, man. Let me see something said. CK, did you ever settle down wildcat and check on him? Nah, LaShawn. Nah, I don't talk to that, man. He opened the door for all the lies, the buffoonery. I don't talk to him. Plus, he got his hand full right now. He going through problems up north. You understand one thing, right? God handle people according to their deeds. That's what I tell you about. I don't got to get back at dudes. They do all that and they handle themselves and get stuck in certain positions. And then guess what? They get on this way here. You CK. I'm like, nah, bro. We ain't cool. Handle your handle, man. Stand on business. Well, he wasn't standing on business. You know what I mean? And that's that, man. So with that said, y'all, until next, I'm gonna probably go live later on to show y'all like where I'm at. You're gonna see, well, my side, I'm in the hood, bro. Ain't nothing Hollywood about where I'm at. But the love and respect is there. You know why? Because those that know. The truth is undisputed. And with that said, salute. 212 game. Grocery sell more than dope. We out.